It was reported by numerous media sources in the United States, and I'm talking more than 50, that there is really the attempt by all four major trucking companies in the United States to collude to prevent electric trucks from taking over. This collusion was reported on, like I said, by many major news agencies. What's been going on? What is the deal? Well, the four big truck companies in the United States have decided that they don't want trucking to go electric because that wouldn't be good for business. So they have lobbied the US government, the White House, to not support electric trucks. Now, Tesla, while this has been happening, have been just quietly working away on the most efficient, the most vertically integrated truck factory in the United States and maybe in the world. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. Gene at Teslarati says that nearly 9 years after Elon Musk unveiled the Tesla Semi, in 2017, the company now is running its truck factory in Reno, Nevada, and they're ramping up to producing 50,000 trucks per year. I mean, can Tesla really sell 50,000 electric semis per year? You bet they can. There is easily enough demand for this. This is a low-hanging fruit. I mean, it's very different trying to sell an electric car to a human who really, do they have to drive electric? Not necessarily, because, a lot of people who buy cars just buy them on emotion. But when you buy an electric semi, or when you buy a semi period, you don't buy an emotion. You buy on the return on investment, the ROI. That's what it comes down to. Now, if your ROI is, say, twice as good with one vehicle, with one semi versus another, what are you going to do? Well, we all know. Volume production began at Tesla's factory in March 2026 at the new Tesla Semi factory, with the competitive advantage, not just the fact that they are building electric trucks, which are much cheaper to run, but also where Tesla built this site itself. By constructing the 1.7 million square foot facility next to the Gigafactory in Sparks, Nevada, Tesla closed the one supply chain loop that had delayed the Semi program for years. Now, Gene says the 4680 battery cells that power the Semi are manufactured in the same complex, which massively streamlines supply logistics. And that single decision eliminates the bottleneck that forced Tesla to prioritize battery supply for passenger cars over the Semi throughout 2020, 2021, and 2022. And that's why deliveries of the Semi fell way behind, and we had to wait for these delays. And it's not just us that waited as a general public watching what's happening. It's also companies that had placed massive orders. Every other electric truck manufacturer sources their battery cells from other suppliers, whether that be LG Chem or another supplier, SK On, or potentially even Panasonic as well. Now, those battery cells are then shipped to a separate factory and packaged, usually at that factory, and the supplier has to absorb the cost and, of course, the delay in time that goes with that. Now, of course, you're also the middleman, having to buy batteries from someone else and then ship them to where you are. And the batteries are not small and light. They're big and quite heavy. Tesla built its semi factory around its battery factory. And that vertical integration makes the 50,000 trucks per year actually possible. The vertical integration also enables Tesla to make a profit if selling at the same price as its rivals. That's a big difference. Plus, Tesla can provide more range than its rivals. They have the longest range electric trucks in the market. They can actually do 500 miles of real world range, and that's been proven. Actually, I think there was a lot of skepticism around this. People thought 500 miles in a Semi, is this real? And then Tesla took the truck to a trucking fair last year and they tested it. And they found that the claim was true. It was accurate. You could do 500 miles. Musk said this: starting next year, we will manufacture the Tesla Semi. We already have a lot of prototype semis in operation. PepsiCo and other companies have been using them for some time. But in 2026, we'll begin volume production at our Northern Nevada factory. Full ramp to volume output is targeted before June 30, 2026. Now, the first deliveries actually happened way back in December 2022 to PepsiCo. They actually doubled their fleet to 50 trucks, and they operate out of California. Since then, the Semi has been showing up more and more around the United States. As Teslarado reported in March, a Ralph's Supermarkets branded Semi was spotted on a Los Angeles highway, confirming Kroger's partnership with Tesla to deploy 500 electric semis. Walmart, Costco, Cisco, US Foods, DHL, Height Logistics, and Watt EV are among the companies either using or receiving trucks from Tesla. That's a lot of brands. I mean, those are the biggest brands in the United States when it comes to delivering a lot of stuff. DHL logged a staggering efficiency of 1.72 kilowatt hours per mile under a full 75,000 pound load over 390 miles, matching Tesla's actual claims, which is quite a surprise to a lot of people who don't believe or didn't believe Tesla semis could do what they said they could. The 2026 production model arrived with meaningful upgrades as well, and I reported on that recently. There is a 1,000 pound weight reduction. I mean, a weight reduction of nearly 500 kilos is amazing. There is updated aerodynamics to improve efficiency. There is support for 1.2 megawatt charging speeds that can basically can charge the battery, 60% of the battery in 30 minutes. And remember, driver brakes are mandatory for 30 minutes. Tesla has opened public mega chargers capable of 1.2 megawatt charging in Ontario, California, and they have positioned these chargers near the I-10 and the I-15 interchange, serving the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach. Tesla are planning, though, 37 mega charger sites. That's not 37 mega chargers, that's sites by the end of 2026, and 66 total across 15 states by early 2027. Construction is beginning at the nation's largest truck stop operator in the first half of this year. This is serious disruption, and it shocks me that no one is talking about it. Emissions from diesel-powered trucks contribute 8% of global emissions. But here's the thing. Of those global emissions, the other 92%, well, yeah, some of those are from diesel vehicles, but not that many. And unfortunately, the truth is that these diesel emissions cause cancer at a far worse rate than the other emissions we produce globally from other sources. Musk has described the Semi's economics as a straightforward case. The Semi is a TCO no-brainer. The total cost of ownership is much, much cheaper than any other transportation you can have. At under $300,000, the truck costs roughly double of a comparable diesel. But California's $200,000 per vehicle subsidy has driven over 1,000 state orders alone. And it's not just subsidies that actually make these trucks cheaper. It's cost of ownership. It's actually the battery packs last far longer than a diesel engine. Looking at Tesla's latest battery technology, we've seen Tesla vehicles do more than 700,000 kilometers on a single battery pack with basically no maintenance at all. You cannot say the same for any diesel engine that's ever gone into a truck ever. In addition to that, electricity is much cheaper than diesel, particularly right now, that's for sure. I'm going to guess that in this last month, Tesla's probably doubled its order book based on the fact that diesel's prices continue to skyrocket. Those advantages, in combination with the fact that Tesla semis are much faster than diesel semis, hang on a minute, am I saying that Tesla's vehicles are breaking the speed limit, breaking the law? No, I'm not. But if, like me, you've ever tried to follow a truck on a highway, and I have, when I've been nearly out of fuel or nearly out of battery power, you'll see that semis drive very slowly. Very slowly. In fact, they probably average around 90 kilometers an hour on a freeway. That's what, 60 miles an hour. And that's much slower than what a semi can drive at. The semi can drive up hills at the same speed as an internal combustion car because of its electric motors that produce huge amounts of torque, far more torque and power than a diesel vehicle. That means companies who drive these trucks can get from one destination quicker. Yes, every truck, every driver has to do a mandatory 30-minute break every 4 hours. That's pretty normal across many countries around the world. So there's no disadvantage by the fact that you have to charge this vehicle rather than putting diesel in it. You still have to wait for 30 minutes. So this is going to give people a big time advantage. Rather than averaging 90 kilometers an hour or even sometimes slower on hilly routes, you'll be able to do the full 110, which is Australian numbers. But in the United States, you'll be able to do 70 miles an hour easily on average, even on hilly routes. And in addition, drivers say they prefer them. Drivers have tested them and they're much easier to drive. Plus, they're also significantly safer. So guys, I think that America is on that pivot point where, yes, it's true that EV sales have been floundering, but not electric truck sales. That market is being disrupted. And like I said, no one is talking about it. Thanks for watching. Need expert advice on what car to buy, what solar system to get, what home battery to get, or potentially for your business? You can get, guys, a one-on-one consultation directly with me, 60 minutes of tailored guidance. This might help you avoid making a huge mistake spending money when you shouldn't, or potentially save you a massive amount of money. Click the link in the description below because I can assist you, and why not? The link is in the description. Thinking about getting solar, a home battery, or an EV charger? Check out Australia's best free comparison tool because it could save you a lot of money. Guys, click on the link below in the description and you can see how much you can save. Alternatively, give Resync a call. They are the guys who installed my battery and my home solar. I'll put a link to them as well in the description.